Greetings, car fanatics. In my last video, I talked about how I was able to work towards getting my dream car, my Porsche 911. So today I wanted to make a video to help some viewers who have been asking questions about what they should major in college in order for them to one day get their dream car. I'm going to start out and say that this video is not trying to make a point that cars are everything in life, nor is making money, but because I know there are a lot of car fanatics watching the channel, I wanted to provide some practical advice on different career paths you can take in order to one day be able to afford your dream car. And I'm going to be talking about ways to get your dream car through college because that's the path I took and the path I'm most familiar with. So first I'm going to talk about the degrees that will really give you the hard skills employers will want and will allow you to get that first job and make pretty good money. So the first set of majors are engineering. Engineering is really practical. It's super quantitative. You can apply it outside of engineering to business, to other industries because it's so focused on problem solving. Now, if you want to go into the automotive industry, mechanical engineering is a great engineering degree for you to get if you want to be an engineer and design cars. Now, in 2008, my roommate studied petroleum engineering, and when he graduated, his first job was paying about $70,000 a year back in 2008. So I think this just goes to show how engineering is one of the career paths that will allow you to make pretty decent money right out of college and just with a bachelor's degree. Next, jumping to the business degrees. Business is extremely useful. Every private company is going to require business people, so studying business isn't a bad thing. If you go into finance and work on Wall Street as an investment banker, in your very first year, you could be making $150,000 a year. Of course, you'll be working 100 plus hours. You can also study various business degrees and go into management consulting, which will, allow you to eventually earn six figures once you make it up into the consultant ranks. You could also study information technology. If you look at Nick Murray, he's actually an IT director of some form at a large company, and he makes a pretty good living. You can also study accounting. So there are plenty of accounting firms that will, hire new graduates. They'll pay you very well with bonuses and so forth. So in general, business degrees are also pretty useful. Now jumping into the health professions, I think being a doctor, a dentist, a pharmacist, these are all great ways to make a pretty good living for yourself. I think of all the health professions, medical doctors do get paid the most, especially if you specialize. If you are going to go into the health sciences, I wouldn't recommend studying biology in undergrad as your major. You only need to take the pre-med requirement classes, and that can be added on top of whatever major you choose. So I wouldn't recommend taking biology as your major because one, you're only going to be taking these science classes, which will not only be a bit boring, but it's going to make your workload a little bit more difficult. So it's going to be harder to make really good grades and make you competitive for medical school or dental school or what have you. The other reason is if you do decide to change your mind and no longer want to go into healthcare, you don't really have a degree you can fall back on. You really can't do too much with a bachelor's in biology. So that's why I wouldn't recommend it. Jumping into computer science, if you are a computer scientist and you went to a pretty good school and happen to land a job at one of the big tech companies in Silicon Valley, you could be making close to six figures, within 1 or 2 years of working as a software engineer. So that's also another lucrative field to look into. And finally, I'm going to talk about law. I think law can be hit or miss because there is a bit of a saturation of lawyers in the market, and there are a ton of schools cranking out lawyers. If you go into public law, you're not going to be making a ton of money, especially if you're like a public defender. You're going to be working long hours and the pay won't be that great. On the other hand, if you become a lawyer and you work in the private sector doing corporate law, you can actually be making a lot of money. But I think with something like law, it does matter what school you go to. If you want to get that coveted corporate law job, you're going to have to go to one of the top law schools. So that's one thing to consider. Well, there you have it, car fanatics. I wanted to make a video to just highlight a few career paths you can take in order to get your dream car. To sum it up, it's engineering, business, healthcare, computer science, and potentially law. Thanks for watching, car fanatics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave any questions or comments below.